Welcome back to the Dr. Des Show. Today we're talking about the question that I get a lot. I get a ton of questions, but this is the one that stands out to me, and this is the one I love to answer. How do I make six figures in public health, whether through my career, through my business, or whatever? Six figures is that goal that some people are trying to get to. Some people never even reach through their career. But today we're going to be talking about it. Now, before we get started, I actually have a free training coming up on May 14th that's going to be called the Six-Figure Public Health Career Blueprint. So if you want to join, the link is in the show notes for you to go ahead and join and get on the list and show up live and take notes, because we're going to be unpacking it. And I'm literally going to give y'all actual strategies, blueprints. We're not just going to talk about it. We're going to be about it. So you're going to get everything that you need to go ahead, make a plan, and really start building that career, that lifestyle that you want to get to that salary that you want. Now, if you don't want to wait until May 14th, join the Public Health Club right now, because within the club, you got access to all of these workshops, from increasing your income, from public health side hustles, to scaling to six figures, to all of these different workshops designed to help you increase your income in public health. So now let's go ahead and let's kind of dive into this episode. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the mindset. I know a lot of y'all are like, Dr. Des, I don't want to talk about my mindset. I don't want to talk about it. But no, we need to talk about it, because a lot of times in public health and even careers like social work, we are not trained to think about the money, right? In fact, we are tasked with doing more with less money, because a lot of times our stuff is underfunded. A lot of times, we got to pull funding from here, pull grants from here, do this to try and make this work, do this with cutting corners. Think about sustainability of programs when the funding is gone, right? We are always thought to think about what can we do with less money. But I want to make sure I challenge you all to think about, what can I do to increase my income and increase my impact? Because you don't got to be hungry and out here just wanting something and not making the money to make a difference, right? You don't got to punish yourself because you want to have a career that makes a difference in people's lives, okay? So I want to make sure that that is clear. That is one thing that I see holds so many people back. I even had someone tell me the other day, they were just like, yeah, Dr. Des, I was in a meeting, and this older lady, she said in the meeting, she was like, we didn't do public health because we wanted to make money. And my first instinct to look at her was like, who didn't do this? Who got all these loans from my master's program because I wanted to be poor? No, I did not. Right? We didn't do this just to not make money. Of course, we did this because we want to help. We want to make a difference. We love what we do, but we did not go into this field to say, all right, I'm just going to do this work for $40,000 a year and that's what I'm going to make. That's what I'm going to do. No, we didn't do that. And because you're listening to this podcast episode, whether you're on YouTube watching me or you are on the Spotify or Apple Podcasts, then guys, you are listening to this because you are trying to grow, and that is okay. And I love that you are already thinking and already in that growth mindset, okay? So the first thing I wanted to really talk about today is going to be about, where are these six-figure jobs hiding? Because a lot of times when we think about six figures in public health, a lot of times people go immediately to top positions at health departments, or they immediately go to CDC. And granted, the federal government, you can make six figures in the federal government, right? There are so many people that are doing it. There are so many people that are doing it in various places. But one thing you have to understand is the landscape of the industry. So salaries for the Florida Department of Health are different from the Georgia Department of Health, and different from the Texas Department of Health, right? So they are so different depending on where you are, depending on what you're doing, on what area you are also in within those departments. These salaries are going to vary. So a lot of times when you come in, that is why you can come in as a program manager making $36,000, but in Georgia, you come in as a program manager, you may be making $50,000. So it's just different. So you have to, one, understand that landscape, but then two, I challenge you all, like what I do within the Public Health Club all the time, we challenge you all to really think outside of the box when it comes to your career. One of the positions that I've held has been with a health insurance company. And I did not, honestly, before I got the position, I didn't even think it was possible. I'm be honest, when they called me for an interview, I barely even remembered applying to this position. Barely remembered applying. But it was a manager, a health equity role. So I'll be handling their NCQA health equity accreditation processes. And they wanted to pay me $120,000 a year. And I said, and a 10% bonus. I said, okay, give me the money. But that was amazing. Like, to just think about that coming from my first job in public health, essentially doing something similar, working with them to develop health equity programs and doing all those things. I'm making $36,000 to now making $120,000 a year, right? So completely different, like just amazing. But health insurance companies are those areas where it is so overlooked. And I know if you guys are in the club, you've heard me say this a ton of times, right? These companies like the United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Molina Healthcare, Centene, all of these companies right here, they are doing amazing work, right? We think of health insurance, we do think about, they just want money. They just want to deny your claims, But no, there are some amazing people that are working within these industries that are really working to help people, to build community, to help engage people. They're doing public health programs. They're calling it population health. But they're calling it those little bit of different languages. So remember, if you remember things that we talk about in the club, things that we talk about within just different spaces, this thing of speaking the language of the organizations that you're trying to apply for. So if you want to apply to a health insurance company, think in terms of quality improvement. That just means they're going to look at their data and they're going to develop programs to try to improve the health outcomes of their members. That's all that means when they're thinking quality improvement. And we do that all the time in traditional public health, right? So I want you guys to really think about companies like that. Think about these private industries. Think about tech companies, right? Think about the roles that they have, whether it's user experience research, whether it is doing, health product type positions. So there are so many areas that are there that are for us. There are organizations that want social impact strategists. Like, I seen a position from TikTok. They wanted someone to do social impact, meaning they want someone to make sure that the programs, the different things that they are doing, they are helping the community, right? I seen a position for Kroger. They wanted someone to do community engagement, go out and do outreach within the community, right? That's us. That's us. That's what we do all the time. So guys, I challenge you to make sure that you are thinking strategically about these roles and understanding that a lot of times these six-figure roles, they are not just in the CDC. They are in all of these different areas. And make sure that you do sign up for that free training that we're going to have on May 14th, because we're going to really dive a lot deeper and you're going to walk away with a complete blueprint that is going to help you get to that next level. After all my trainings, you walk away with a blueprint, a plan to put into action, all right? Imagine landing your first $200,000 evaluation contract like Dr. Brittany James. Or imagine landing your first ever consulting gig that aligns directly with your passions like Artisha did. What about launching your own business and landing your first contract within just 60 days, just like Laura did? This isn't a dream. This is reality that happens on a weekly basis within the Public Health Club. The Public Health Club is a community of over 600 public health professionals, all dedicated to their career growth as well as their growth in their business as a consultant. We have a list of over 66 RFPs every month just waiting on you to apply for them. So whether you own a consulting business right now, whether you're thinking about getting into the entrepreneurial space within the public health realm, then the Public Health Club will help you start that business and will help you to secure your first contract. So check out the club, join us, go ahead, activate your 7-day free trial, check us out, and I guarantee you will not want to leave. And I hope that you'll be our next win that I can present. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was consulting and freelance work. Now, there are multiple ways to skin a cat. Okay. You do not have to just say, all right, I'm going to work this 9 to 5 and I'm going to rely on this 9 to 5 to get me to 6 figures eventually. I'm going to wait for them to see me, wait for them to acknowledge me, wait for them to know I'm here and to give me that promotion. No, like you have to go out and you got to take what you want, right? You have to go out and get it. And if you know that you're not growing in this position, or there's no room to get to that next level within the next few years, then you may want to think about an exit strategy, or you may want to think about a side hustle if you want to stay where you are. Now, side hustling can look like a lot of different things when it comes to public health. Because we have these amazing skills, you could side hustle and do consulting, which is one of the things that we talk about a lot in the Public Health Club, because I have a running list of consulting opportunities. So if you are a consultant right now, or if you do it on the side and you do freelance work and you are not in the Public Health Club scanning those RFP opportunities that get posted every week, then my friend, you are missing out on thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, okay? Because we have everything in there, from they want someone to do their social media campaigns, to they need somebody to do some focus groups real quick, to some literature reviews real quick, environmental scans, all of these different things, right? These are things you can do on the side and bring in extra income. When I first started consulting, it was on the side of my full-time job, and I made 6 figures the first year doing it, right? And this is on the side. My side hustle made 6 figures, around $130,000 the first year of me doing it. And I was amazed. I was in awe. I was like, oh my God, why don't more people know about this, right? Like, everybody needs to be doing these things, needs to know about this. And if they don't, what are you doing, my friend? And that is one of the things that really got me like, okay, I could do this full time and I could have so much more time freedom. I could do the things that I want to do. I can take on the projects that I want to take on, because that was honestly, the most amazing part for me. So side hustling is an amazing way to get you to that 6 figure mark if you choose to and you want to do so, because we can do two things at once. All right. And I know people get kind of scared when I say consulting or whatever, but literally it's doing what you already do, but just doing it on the side for another company. Really? Like, literally, my first contract, I did some health equity trainings, right? I developed trainings, things that I've done for companies, for my company that I worked for all the time. Like, it was easy peasy. Did some trainings, did those. I think I even did a few focus groups, developed an evaluation report for them, and kept it moving. Like, and that contract was like $40,000 to do that for half a year. So guys, the money is out there. It's just a matter of how you are positioning yourself and how you are training yourself to get to the money. Now, if you are listening to my podcast, or if you've been to any of my free trainings, you've been to any of our workshops, then you know that every time you listen to one of these, a little part in your brain just opens up. Because that's what happens to me when I listen to all my podcasts and I read my books. A little like light just turns on and I'm like, wow, I never thought of that. Or I never thought that I could be the one to do this, to go in this area and to actually be a consultant, or to go and to actually do a strategy this way, or turn it this way, or think about it like this. That is what happens when you surround yourself in the right environments. You are talking with people who are ahead of you, because I always tell people too, like, I never want to go somewhere and be the smartest person in the room. When you are the smartest person in the room, then a lot of times what happens with that is you're not learning anything. You're not growing. People are relying on and depending on you for knowledge. And that's okay. But you got to get in those rooms that are going to stretch you, that are going to let you grow and allow you to think about what's possible, and to think about what's next and what can be next and what more you can do. And that is one of the things that we make sure that we do within the Public Health Club. So guys, like I said, we have our free training that is coming up on May 14th. Now, May 14th, it is the blueprint, right? We are talking about 6-figure public health salaries, as well as just increasing your overall income to 6 figures. And I am giving you the blueprint that I use. I'm giving you the blueprint that I teach other people to use that has been successful for them as well. Because listen, y'all, I don't just teach this. I don't just say I've done it. I've helped other people to do it too. And these people are in the Public Health Club. They are doing the things. They are getting the interviews. They are expanding and going beyond things that they never thought that they ever thought they could do. And I want to make sure that you guys are in communities like that, whether it's the Public Health Club or whether it's not. Get in communities that don't think with a scarcity mindset. Because that is one of the things that I see, especially right now in public health. A lot of people are leading with a scarcity mindset because so many people have gotten laid off. So many amazing, talented professionals are back on the job market. And you know what? People are scared and people are wondering, will I ever find a job? Will I get a new job? Will I get this? Will I get that? I don't know. It's just, I should have never chose public health. I should have never did this. Guys, listen, if you continue to surround yourself with people who are thinking those things, people who are moving in this scared manner, in this scarcity mindset, then that is the mindset that you are going to have to. You're going to keep telling yourself that there's nothing out there. You're going to keep telling yourself that you can't do this. You're going to keep telling yourself, like, maybe I need to go get a degree in something else. Maybe I need to go get a clinical degree or whatever. But no, listen, you just need to get in the right groups, get into the community with people who can actually help you to say, okay, no, let's navigate and transition your job to this industry. Because I guarantee you, these public health professionals are not thinking about going into working at Google. Or they're not thinking about going into working at this health tech startup. Or they're not thinking about going into working into the government for not just like public health, the health government part, but going into the actual, legislative sector, or going into policy, going into government affairs. Like, they're not thinking about going into all of these other areas. And our skills are needed, and it's all in how you translate them on your resume, how you translate them when you're talking. And that is one of the major things that I love to make sure that I'm emphasizing to people, because our skills in public health are transferable, they are needed, and they will get you to where you need to be if you take the time and you leverage them. It's not going to be overnight, but it will 100% happen if you keep surrounding yourself with those people. You keep surrounding yourself with people who have an abundance mindset rather than that scarcity mindset, because we ain't scared over here. We taking things and we are going, because what's for us is for us, and it will happen for us. So guys, I want to make sure that I see you guys in my training on May 14th. It is free. It is open. Share it with a friend. The link to sign up is below. Reserve your seat. Put it on your calendar. Come ready to take notes. Get some Q&A. There will be Q&A. So I may not get to everybody's questions, but I will try to get to people's questions. But come ready to learn, ready to grow, ready to get your blueprint together. And if you are ready right now, if you're like, Dr. Des, I can't wait till the 14th, come join me in the Public Health Club. I also do mentorship and group coaching in the club. And there are a ton of workshops just literally ready for you to take right now, so you can get started right now. So if this episode motivated you guys, make sure that you leave me a comment, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you just share this podcast with a friend of a friend, or whoever you think may find it useful. But I hope that this motivated you. I hope this encouraged you. I hope that this gave you that little oomph that you needed to know that, hey, I can scale to 6 figures in public health, whether it's through my salary, whether it's through me adding on different things throughout my business, or whatever it may be, developing that business, or selling templates, selling digital products, online courses, all of these things that we are trained to do, that we have all of this health knowledge and all of this amazing knowledge and background. You can do it. So I'm going to leave you guys with that encouragement, but make sure that you like, subscribe, share this episode. Make sure that you comment on it. Leave me a note. Let me know how you liked it. And all right, guys, I will see you next time, and I'll see y'all at the training on May 14th. Bye.